Hey, it's Larry. As you know, we all just finished our research project on different topics regarding women. I present to you a systematic suppression of Latinas in STEM. Here are my three main questions. 1. What obstacles stand in the way of a Latina and her success in STEM? 2. What are the differences between a Latina in STEM studying in the U.S. versus Latin America? And 3. What programs will advocate for the progression and success of Latinas in STEM? As a Latina in STEM, I have always felt the judgment and criticism from the people around me. Therefore, I felt it was important to understand where the judgment comes from and what it is correlated to. The growing population of Latinos in the United States. The problematic pipeline says that although the Latino population will continue to grow very rapidly, the participation in higher education by Latino students and faculty will not keep pace. Without effective intervention, the higher education end of this pipeline will remain narrow and only a small number of Latinos with graduate degrees will be produced. The number of Latino students who have completed high school does not reflect the total population, indicating that few make it through the end of the pipeline. Factors that limit overall success rate: low-income households, low level of parental education, enrollment in underperforming schools, and more. The largest minority group in the United States, Latinos, only comprise 9.5% of college enrollment. Latinos are underrepresented in all parts of the nation's higher education pipeline. This degree of underrepresentation increases at higher education levels. Given their high dropout rates and their pervasive educational gaps, the nation's colleges and universities may actually see a decrease in overall involvement of Latino students in years to come. Latinas are among the least represented group in STEM and thus may have concerns about not belonging or feeling welcome in STEM environments. Identity safety cues are sciences with shared identities that may address this issue and encourage Latinas' belonging and interest in STEM. In the first study conducted by Who Encourages Latina Women to Feel a Sense of Identity Safety in STEM Environments, Latina women were presented with a fictional STEM company and a scientist working at the company who was either Latino-Latina or a non-Latino, a white man or woman. It found that compared to those in the white man-woman sciences conditions, participants in the Latina sciences conditions believed the scientists had faced comparable adversities to themselves, therefore identifying more strongly with the Latina scientists and reported higher trust and belonging and attraction to STEM. The same article then conducted a second study. They presented Latina high school students with a panel of Latina scientists. Afterwards, the students reported enhanced feeling of trust and belonging in STEM. Both studies indicated that believing the sciences had previous experience with adversity related to strong identification with sciences is correlated with more trust and belonging interest in STEM. Statistics to think about: Latinas are underrepresented in STEM, comprising only 2% of STEM fields. Latinas who work in science and engineering occupations are only 13%. 74% of Latinas say that if they went into STEM, they'd have to work harder just to be taken seriously. Because Latinas are one of the fastest growing populations in the U.S., testing new techniques to encourage Latinas' interest in STEM to help fulfill STEM workforce need is crucial. The underrepresentation of Latinas in STEM may be partly due to social identity threat or the fear that their identity might be devalued. These are the negative stereotypes associated with women in science and Latinas in academia. Latinas risk facing double jeopardy in STEM, experiencing discrimination and social identity problems. Indeed, women of color report lower belonging in STEM than both white female students and male students of color. There are various programs that exist for the advancement of Latinas in STEM, including a few initiated by the White House. Historically, school science like that at Rockland Middle School favors students whose lives more easily assimilate into traditional science culture, where students without language that is easily assimilated into their local science classrooms are often marginalized from the learning process. Sure, as science classrooms incorporate the discourse-rich science and engineering practices described in the framework, they will become rich language learning environments as well as richer science learning environments for all students, making it difficult for Latinas to succeed. In Latino households, parents also play a major role. The maternal perspective. Parents play an important role in pursuing STEM fields for young people, particularly mothers. Mothers often cast the role of primary caregivers of children, and they are tasked with the job of passing on culture in ways that can help their child succeed. As the same-sex role model for girls in the family, mothers may influence their daughter in behavior as well as instruction and may provide both support and barriers to their daughter along pathways to considering a STEM major. Mothers can also instill personal and cultural value and interest in their daughters, which can influence how and why students choose particular majors. In addition, mothers can provide positive or negative role models, both in terms of roles for women in terms of education on pathways to major in STEM. In America, women tend to define themselves through their family and children rather than independently. With that, the idea has emerged that a career in STEM is not family-friendly. To include, there is the idea that men are to be the primary provider of a home, with the woman pursuing a career in STEM that is challenged. However, is it right to call any career non-feminine? The goal is to teach and advocate for Latina students globally while also providing them the necessary resources. Throughout this course, we have evaluated various readings from all over the world. Machismo and typical gender roles have been very prevalent. Those same ideas are the root of why Latinas are such a minority in STEM. As women continue to break barriers and undo the past, we will start to see the change. Clubs and organizations that I partake in at Seton Hall that promote the advancement of Latinas in STEM include Adelante Latino Student Organization, Minority Association of Pre-Health Students, Pre-Medical Pre-Dental Plus Program, and We STEM, Women in STEM. By implicating these changes in mentality, we can achieve success. Women are intelligent, fearless, resilient, and unstoppable. Citations? Thank you for watching.